Thank you so much for watching. Today we will be having a look at the Axial SCX10 version 3 Jeep Gladiator. So a Jeep JT Gladiator. This is basically the exact same truck that you have seen me build. Perhaps you haven't seen it, but I will make sure there's a link in the video description box. A couple of weeks ago, and the one that I painted up, except this one is completely ready to run, has longer frame rails and has an exceptionally good looking Jeep Gladiator body that is really nailed into great detail, to put it like that. Now on the box, of course, it lists all of the features. It lists that there's stainless steel pivot balls, a chassis mounted servo, injection molded features. Whatever that means that there's a really cool rack on the bed. It shows you, if you would take it apart and try to rebuild this yourself, it shows you where all of the steel or metal gears are at, what they do. It also shows you that there is a teeny tiny servo in there which operates the dig. This chassis being that long because it is a 13.9 inch chassis, which is massive, which also means that they have all new links, all new frame rails in the back. But in order to not affect the handling too much, or to actually make sure that you can still get around the corner with it being that long, they do have a tiny servo over here which operates the dig, so that means that you can lock up the rear wheels, still run the front ones and pivot this thing around corners. You will see that it has aluminium adjustable coilover shocks, universal axles, Nitto trail grappler tires, nothing really surprising there, I guess. And you also see that, well, mine came fortunately in this gray color because, to be completely honest with you, I prefer that over the red. I already have one red Jeep. Having a gray one is actually really cool. Now let me put this box to the side after pointing out that it has an ESC that I'm completely unfamiliar with, because this one is actually a receiver and ESC all built into one. Now, looking at it, it is mind-blowing. I also have not taken off the plastics yet. I'm going to do that at the end of this video. If I feel like this video got shot well, then I will peel this plastic off to reward myself for making it through, and for also hopefully giving you all the correct info on this amazing looking truck. Looking at the outside, you will see that this thing is as detailed as the JLU version, with a lot of exceptions in it looking different that would not transfer to the four-door JLU. So for example, you see this pickup bed, of course, that is typical for the Gladiator, and it is a full drop down. So this is a two-piece feature which has like a separate inside and a separate outside, and that is also what is needed to turn this into a full drop down bed like you see it over here. I think no manufacturer as of yet has been able to do this with a lexan body, and Axial now has, and I think that that is definitely something to applaud them for. It also comes with this huge overland rack on the back, to which you can immediately fix some scale items, like for example fuel cans or high lift jacks, stuff like that. I think that that is actually super cool to have that included, because that will make sure that you can immediately start personalizing it. These taillights as well, these are typical for the Gladiator, so this is not something that would transfer to the regular JLU. Same goes for the fender flares and also for these rock sliders. All of that is made completely new for this Gladiator body. I think it looks absolutely amazing. Of course, another thing, if you haven't seen any of the SCX10 version 3s yet, another thing you will be blown away by is then all of the molded detail that you see on the outside. Like for example, the door handles, the mirrors, the windshield wipers that cowl here in the front, but also all of the detail that goes on in the front. So you have this open grille behind which you can actually see a radiator piece, headlight buckets, you name it. This thing even comes with lights. It is very complete. Looking past that and just sort of like moving your attention downwards, you will see these CRC licensed bumpers, both front and back. Those are similar to the ones that you would get on the Jeep JLU, as are the wheels and tires. So these are KMC Machete wheels in a silver. Previously on SCX10 version 2, you would find these in the black. You would also find the exact same tire, so this Nitto Trail Grappler licensed tire, which is actually a really good tire. Nice compound, nice profile to them, nice thread. So all of that is cool, and it also makes the truck look really proper. Now, after looking at all that, I think it is time to kind of dive into this body. If you look beyond the tinted windows, you will see that there is an interior piece with a driver figure already installed. That as well really lifts this whole concept, this whole next generation of the SCX10 version 3 to, in my opinion, an entirely new level that we have not seen before from Axial. Before I take off the body, I will also show you this Spectrum radio. I have not been using these yet. This is a new generation DX3, and it comes with a thumb piece. So if you are into one-handed driving because you're filming with the other hand, or because you have an angry partner on the line in the other hand asking if you are again gone playing with your RC car in the weekend while you were supposed to look after the kids or mow the lawn or whatever, you can actually do all of that with this radio. So this is a multitasker's dream. Usually, if you wanted to have this thumb piece, you needed to like 3D print it, make like really ugly provisions in zip tying that to the steering wheel, and then hoping and crossing your fingers that it would actually stay put. I've also seen people putting screws in their steering wheels and whatnot, and seeing that Spectrum now comes with a completely catered to your needs thumb steer button is, in my opinion, actually pretty cool. Here you will also see a third channel button, which will then lock or unlock that dig. So we will actually kick that into action. And then apart from that, nothing really surprising. So there's like a battery level with like 4 indicating LEDs. Haven't started this up yet. And then of course, brake rate, steering trim, throttle trim, reverse buttons, and then a throttle limit switch. If you want to give this to somebody who has really never seen an RC in their life before, you can put it on 50% and you can watch the disappointment drip off their face as their truck does not exceed 3 miles per hour. Let's put this to the side. It of course also comes with a manual. I can't be bothered to show you that, but let me tell you, if it is anything like the Jeep JLU manual, it will be a bit complicated and a nice puzzle for you to figure out, but also really detailed. So nothing wrong there. I already took the body pins out. The body pins go under the bottom over here, so everything is actually tucked out of the way. While I do like body clips, I can also appreciate manufacturers trying to obscure them, which is exactly what Axial did over here. Now the first thing that you see when you look at this chassis is that it is massive. People would go like, oh my god, it is so big. And it actually is a 13.9 inch wheelbase, which is stonkingly big. Comes with inner fenders with a place for rock lights. Nothing truly surprising there. So if you would look at what is totally different from the regular 4-door Jeep JLU Axial SCX10 version 3, it is those rear frame rails, but also the links and also this drive shaft. And apart from that, it is fairly identical. If you have never seen an Axial SCX10 version 3 before, let me quickly run you through it. There's a chassis mounted servo over here in the front. There is well, what is basically a depiction of an LS engine. Also in the front, covering up your motor, which is in this case a brushed motor. I'm thinking it is it a 35 turn? I have no idea because it is just obscured way too well. Well, then you have those inner fenders. Going back, a really nice transmission case that looks super scale, all metal gears, all ball bearings. Going to a transfer case, which then incorporates dig, but also the 2-speed. Now the 2-speed, that servo is not installed. So in order to get that operational, you need to put in some elbow grease. But if you just want to run it as it is with that Spectrum DX3 radio, you're basically good to go. These axles are called AR45 axles, which is next generation of the AR44. The AR44 axle was the axle that you would find on an Axial SCX10 version 2, which was a non-portal axle, and in this case these AR45 axles are actually portal axles. They come with a helical ring and pinion gear, a high entrance pinion, so you have a lot of clearance underneath those axles. It also makes for a really nice and straight drivetrain, and especially seeing that this is a long wheelbase vehicle with some different triangulation in the back that will really keep that the driveline straight and be able to transfer the power from one end to the next end of this vehicle in a really nice and strong fashion, to put it like that. Portal boxes are nice and compact, and you could of course argue that a Jeep Gladiator would not come with portal axles, but who cares, you know? You want to have a capable RC truck in 10 scale that looks dope. This thing is actually, I think, the ticket. This is that combined ESC and a receiver that I was talking about. I'm not familiar with these. I've never seen them before, never used them before. I do know that I need to put some different battery leads on it for my intended use. But also, if you want to change this out to a different ESC and different receiver, and you lack the receiver box that is actually supplied with in the separate parts bag. So just keep an eye out for that once you unbox your vehicle. Don't throw anything away, just go through it and make sure that you save that stuff, because you might actually need it at a later date. I'm really looking forward to taking this thing out. If you wonder what these two leads are for, these are actually for the lights. So there's also lights installed in that body already. So I think that it is a really complete offering. You can choose if you want to run like a full-size pack in the back over here, or like a shorty pack on the floorboard on the other side. Yeah, so it's packed with options. It has plenty to offer, and especially seeing that it is a ready-to-run vehicle, I think it is very complete in what it offers and what it actually does or does not do. Now, I think I covered all the bases. If not, let me know. So if you have any questions or comments, or I really missed out on some features of this amazing looking Axial Gladiator Jeep JT, let me know in the comments box. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you have not subscribed yet and you are afraid that it costs money, it doesn't. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell as well if you are subscribed already, so you get notifications. And if you wonder about anything like apparel, links to this Axial SCX10 version 3, some of my other social media, go check out all of the links in the video description box so you are completely up to speed. I want to thank you so much for watching. I will be taking this thing out right now, having some fun with it after I peel the plastics. And I will see you in the next video, in which I will be running this thing, having some fun with it. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye. And stay safe.
Back on.